When I was in my early 20s, I swore that love at first sight was the only way to find the one. I bought into that fairy tale that the prince was going to ride in on that white horse, only to find out that it didn't happen. Sure, there were a few times that I thought he did, only to realize that chemistry and attraction had clouded my judgment. The truth is, dating is full of myths like this. And so many of us are sabotaging our love lives without even realizing it because we bought into these myths. So today we're going to turn things around. We're going to break down 10 of these myths that are keeping you from having that love life that you really want. So let's dive in. Myth number one, love means losing your independence. This is probably the number one thing that I believed and most of my clients believe. And it is so untrue. There's this belief that love cannot mean independence, that you can't have both together. Commitment and independence don't work. These are modern times, and there's absolutely no reason why two people can't be fully committed and in love and also both have their independence. I have this kind of relationship. I have been with my partner for over 7 years. We are both very independent people, very committed people. I fully trust him 100%, and I believe the same holds true for him. We live separately. We get together every other week. In between, we have our time to see friends, work on things, do whatever we like, but we do fully have our independence in between. I also know that I have this loving, supportive partner anytime that I desire. And it's a wonderful feeling to have all of that. So I can tell you, it's about the two people being on the same page. You can have that as long as that partner also desires the same thing. These are modern times. So if there's something that you're looking for in a relationship, I guarantee you there's a partner on the other side looking for the same thing. It's all about asking the right questions up front. Number two is actually waiting for the right person. This is a big one too that I've encountered where people are like, I'm just not going to date anymore. I'm just going to wait and see if the right person comes to me. The truth is that as much as I believe in the universe and fate, it just doesn't happen. If you're sitting in your living room, maybe there's a tiny chance that that's happened to someone, but most likely that right person is not just going to knock at your door. It does require a little bit of effort. And yes, I do agree in manifestation, but you still need to do a little bit of upfront work and put yourself in the right scenarios. I am not a huge advocate of online dating. I think it's good to have either a combination of both online and in person or just in person alone. But either way, you need to put yourself out there in order to find that right person. Otherwise, these missed opportunities are just going to pass by and you're going to find that person is not going to be found. Number three is, yeah, opposites can attract, but those are not the only people that attract. In fact, sometimes opposites, although it can be very powerful, can sometimes be a little bit of a harder route. And the reason I know this is because my partner and I, although we are in such a deeply loving relationship, we are quite opposite and definitely had a lot to learn about each other and discover. It was actually great for me as a relationship coach to learn how to navigate this. Now, luckily, my partner and I do have a lot of the same similar values and interests. It's really that's why it works. But in some regards, their personality types are quite different, and that is what makes it exciting. Don't overlook somebody who shares a lot of similarities as yourself. Don't just dive into the concept that only opposites attract. Playing hard to get. That's the fourth. People who are dating out there nowadays, and probably when I was dating, feel like they have to ignore someone in order to make them feel like, I don't know, they're somehow more important, more interesting. They've got more going on. And it is important to let somebody know that you are interested. If someone is reaching out to you or giving you signs that you're interested, if you don't give those signs back, you might find they're just going to walk away or they're going to think you're ghosting them and you're going to lose that person altogether. In fact, these days, people are tired of the dating game and playing hard to get can backfire. It is better to just be yourself, be authentic. Just respond to someone and let them know, for instance, I had a great time on the date. Love to see you again and leave it at that. The ball's in their court. Or if you're out somewhere and you like someone, smile at them when you walk by. Let them indicate that you're interested in some way, but playing completely hard to get and not letting them know that you're interested is often not going to work in your favor. Number 5, if it's not love at first sight, they're not the one. I think this is probably the most dangerous one that so many people succumb to, and they lose potential partners who could be great for them as a result because chemistry can develop over time. I am a huge believer in attraction, and that does need to exist. But sometimes people can find themselves surprised at how someone can become appealing once they really have that conversation. Especially when it comes to online dating, so many people are just flipping over people because instantly they're not feeling that kind of chemistry. When if they took the time to go on a date and really see if there's something there, they might find that they're surprised at what they discover and they could have a connection with someone they would not normally have had a connection with. So give someone a chance because you might find your luck turns around when you do. I believe in lust at first sight, where chemistry can be so overpowering. I do not believe in love at first sight because I do not believe you can fall in love without actually getting to know someone. Take a little bit of time to get to know someone before you completely write them off. This one I hate, number 6. I really hate this one. In fact, I had an argument once with a male dating coach who said dating is just a numbers game, that it's all about quantity, that for men especially, you just have to put out a ton of messages and see what comes back to you. If you're looking for a one night stand, go for it. Yes, then that's what's going to work. Do it. Send out a ton of messages and see what comes back, and that might work. But if you want quality and you're looking for a relationship, then take the time to actually read profiles. If you're online dating, we're talking online dating now, and I think, believe it comes to numbers. Take the time to read profiles and comment on parts of it so you actually know the person. You will stand out above everybody else. I can't guarantee that person's going to like you, but your chances have just gone from here to here. You know why I also know this? Because it worked. That's what works for my partner, Dave and I. I got a ton of messages in my inbox, and after a while, it would just be the same messages. Hey, 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 hey. And I was like, oh, and I just ignored them. But then one message stood out amongst them all. And it was a message that this person, who was Dave, clearly had read all of my profile and made a point to comment on all parts of it. I was so impressed that I knew I had to go out with this person. At first, he wasn't the typical person that I probably go out with, but now he is. I am so thrilled because he's the most wonderful man that I've ever met. He's an incredible person. Number 7, being single means you're unhappy. Now, I know that pretty much all of my clients and friends who are single would completely disagree with this one because they are quite happy being single. They're very open to finding a relationship, but they're happy. So it's absolutely untrue. I think that sometimes there can be people who are in relationships, maybe even some older people who think, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you never got married and feel that way, but it's not true. We know that you could be very happy being single, and there's certainly nothing wrong being single. And you can relish that time being single by working on yourself and your personal growth, then adding someone into your life to make your life even more fulfilling. So being single certainly does not need to mean that you're unhappy. In fact, it can be one of the best experiences of your life because it's time for you to work on you. Number 8, you should treat dating like a business. This is a big one for high achievers, which happens to be my client. It happened to me when I first started dating and why it didn't work for me at first until I took a step back. It's hard sometimes to take the business hat off when you go out there on dates, especially for women. It's so important when you go out there into the dating world to then bring out your femininity if you're a woman. And if you're a man, just be yourself, be flirtatious, ask questions, and just it's important for both people to relax in the moment and not try to treat it like a job interview. This is a date, and there should be male female energy at play from both partners in order for attraction to occur. You're not trying to negotiate a merger here. You're trying to just naturally see if there's a connection. And you don't need it all to happen on the first date. Let the conversation flow. You should prepare maybe a couple questions up front, but not such serious ones. Keep them light, keep it flirty, not overly flirty. There's a way to find out the answers you need in a lighthearted way. If you need more information, please reach out. I have lots of ways to do that. Number 9, love conquers all. And I think that what goes with this one is that relationships shouldn't take work. Some people give up right away, especially those saboteurs with the avoidant attachment style. If the first sign of anything going wrong, perhaps you started to date somebody and you have an argument and nope, that's it. If we were really in love, this wouldn't happen. Relationships do go through conflict and they do require nurturing. I don't like to say work, but they require nurturing. There's differences. There's things you have to work through. Fully believe there are things you should discover that you need in a relationship in order for it to work. But there's still always going to be things that you need to nurture within a relationship for it to thrive. And there's going to be ups and downs, but love alone is not going to conquer it. It does require nurturing. And number 10, dating has to be complicated. I hear this so much nowadays. Dating sucks. I'm giving up. I'm done with it. It's over. I'm just going to stay single. And again, nothing wrong with staying single if that's what you truly want. But dating, it's not that there isn't moments where it can't be hard, but it doesn't have to be so complicated. It can be so much simpler once you do the work first on the foundation, which is yourself. B, you gain clarity on who the right partner is for you. And you have a blueprint for your dating journey. What is the plan? I always said, don't treat dating like a business. At this point, you kind of need a plan. What is your approach going to be? Don't go on 10 dating apps. It will drain you so fast. It's so important to know what is best for you based on who you are. This is what I specialize in, working with my clients to figure out who they are specifically. What does that mean in terms of a partner and the right strategy for them moving forward? But also, what has been holding them back? How are we going to clear that to ensure that doesn't block them moving forward? Those are the 10 myths. Once I stopped buying into all these myths and I've helped my clients do the same, things really turned around. Dating became easier and the love that they eventually found in their relationships became more fulfilling. I would love to know in the comments which of these myths you have actually succumbed to, or maybe you are currently, and how you hope to turn these around. I'd love to hear from you. Take care.